In this video, we are going to study everything about millets. We all know the importance of millets and how government is promoting millets. See, right from the beginning, during Indus Valley civilization itself, the production of millets and the promotion of millets, utilization of millets was quite high. That was, again, we have to take a baseline, that is 1960, which is the Green Revolution era. Prior to Green Revolution and post Green Revolution, why did the importance of millets has slowly declined, etc., and why millets was given more importance pre 1960s, etc. In this session, we'll also discuss what initiatives government is taking to promote millets. We all know it is a very much drought resistant crop, etc., and what are the initiatives taken by the government to promote this crop via its various programs, schemes, etc. So we all know that every day in the newspaper we read about millets. If not every day, almost in a week we read at least once about the millets. PIB talks about millets, Hindu talks about millets, Indian Express talks about millets. So the concept of millets can be asked in any of the exams, especially in the UPSC. See, which are the crops which are covered in like the MSP, and what are the Kharif, and millets are mostly covered under Kharif, millets part of Rabi. Those all we are going to discuss in this session. See, if you take, India has recently launched a 5-day millet festival in Indonesia. This you must have read in the newspaper, and in the other newspapers we also have got about what is the type and the variety of millets the government is promoting. For example, we will talk about kodo millets. This is very much in news, and this is one of the type of millet, and India is one of the leader in the production of the kodo millets. So in the end of the session, you can just send me a comment on the YouTube that who is called as the millet man of India. I'll be posting and presenting this in my Telegram channel, the PPT. You can make this PPT as a reference, and there itself you can make a highlight of the points which we are discussing in additional. See, it is basically a small seeded annual grasses. Okay, they are very much adapted to temperate, subtropical and tropical regions. As I have told you, it is a crop which has been cultivated since the ancient era. That is, its roots are directly linked to Indus Valley civilization. And as of now, if we can take, more than 130 countries are being involved in the production of the millets, and India is one of the largest. And if you could see the different types of millets, what are the different types of millets we have? The first important type is the pearl millet, second one is sorghum, third one is finger millet, and there are different types of small millets. Among them, which I have told you just now about the kodo millet. What is the importance of kodo millet? How kodo millet is being utilized and how it is being produced, and why and what is the importance of kodo millets? We will also check in the coming slides. See, other most important thing you should know, how the questions can be asked. The questions can be asked directly linking those to the MSP, which means what are those millets which are covered as part of the Kharif, as part of the Rabi. In particular, most of them are part of the Kharif, that you have to understand. Could be pearl, could be sorghum, or could be this finger millet. So we can consider them as like Joa, Bajra, etc., which are part of those Kharif. See, if you can look at the global, which can be asked in the statements like 44% share of global production of pearl millet, that is Bajra, that I have taken this source from FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization, which says global production of pearl millet, that is the Bajra, which is part of the Kharif Bajra, which is around 44% of share in the global, and 17.2 million metric tons of India, that is, it is produced, like in the last year we can say 2022-23, and India exported, we will take the in the next coming slide, we'll read about which country it has exported, okay, and from where states, which of the following states are the leading exporters, producers, etc. To remind you, there are few states which are heavily producing the millets. Could be any type of millet. One example is the Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, etc. And among all this largest producer, Rajasthan is acting as one state which is like largely producing the millets. See, we can directly claim that India is the largest producer of the millet. And two varieties, I mean, like I have told you, Bajra, which is a very important, and sorghum, that is the jawar. Together, like in the world population and the like world production, we can say it is around 19%. This is also said by FAO, Food and Agriculture Organization. India's pearl millet itself accounts for 40.5, which means I'm talking here about the bajra, and followed by the jowar. Okay, basically this data is again from FAO. So, if you take the millet map of India, the millet map, if we can consider, 27% is from the Rajasthan, okay, and 15% is from the Maharashtra. Put together, these states, I mean, like we have given around 5 states here. These states are the largest, that means the top, if I take the 10 topmost states, they produce around 98, that means you can take more than 90% from these 10 states could contribute to the production of the millets. And they can ask you to arrange them in order, they can ask you which is the state which is like heavily involved in the production of millets, okay, etc. Next, 6 states, as I said, like these 6 states like Rajasthan, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, these 4 states among the 6 occupy the largest, and Rajasthan itself occupies the largest, around 28.6% in total millet production. Among this, I have told you like bajra is the highest, jowar and the finger millets. Okay, finger millets we call them as ragi, clear? And area under cultivation, the area under the cultivation has slowly increased and the production has slowly increased, and you know it's a drought resistant and it is acting as a very important football of the country. And here I have added few important data which you can go through. That data will resemble like where you are producing when you talk about rural, when you talk about urban. I mean, what is the production in rural? What is the like consumption? Sorry, in rural consumption in the urban, it's quite different. Post Green Revolution and pre Green Revolution, if we can take. So, this era can be referred to 1960s. Here, post 1960s, wheat as well as the rice has been given very highest importance when compared to the different type of millets. And you know, nutritional value of millets will definitely overtake the wheat and rice production. And this was prior to Green Revolution, and post Green Revolution, it is all about wheat and rice. Now, going back to again to the traditions, the government of India has taken so many steps so that the production and the consumption of millets can be can take like a major role when compared to the wheat and the rice. Now, I have been telling you about the kodo millets. Among all the millets available, kodo millets are well known for the highest drought resistance. This is the most important point we should remember. And for producing high yields, I mean like how much you can produce within a short duration, that comes first, that is the kodo millets. And they also have like the highest economic value, and India is the world's largest producer of the kodo millets. Now, are kodo millets available in all the states, and which is the state which is a leader? This is your second question. Which is the state which is the leader in the production of kodo millets? See, as I have told you, when it comes about minimum support prices, the price at which the government is, pre-harvest, the government is allocating the prices based on the recommendations given by CACP, that is Commission of Agriculture Cost and Prices, that will be finalized by CCEA, that is Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, headed by the Prime Minister. in which the 14 Kharif crops have been added. The 14 Kharif crops includes, and the most important here you have to understand that 14 Kharif crops includes the jowar, the bajra and the ragi. So, three important crops are there. So, all these three important crops, I mean like the hybrid and Maldandi is part of the jowar. So, all these three important crops which are part of the MSP among the 14 which are being promoted by the government. See, basically MSP crops are those which are being procured by the government, okay, pre-harvest. Later the government announces procurement prices upon which the government will try to procure the food grains directly from the farmers. And procurement prices are basically the prices which are higher than the prices declared at MSP or the prices of the market prices, among which wheat and rice, the staple, and the millets as we have discussed, the kharif, the jawar, okay, the pearl millets, sorghum, bajra, etc., ragi. So, all these have been procured by the government, okay, and those are being again redistributed. Now, not about only the rice and wheat, government is also planning through various programs like we have for midday meals, etc., where the procurement has increased, production has increased, and distribution has to be via various fair shops or through via important schemes like midday meal schemes, etc. And most importantly, as if we consider millet production, which is the bajra, okay. So, if you can look at 2020, I mean like the production in the overall, the country wise we can see, India is somewhere around 40.51, which is far ahead of Nigeria. So, you remember the first three, okay, you remember the first three countries which are part of this heavy highest production. And second important is sorghum, United States of America, Nigeria, Ethiopia and India. So, again you have to remember this four which in order. Next, the buckwheat production, again the Russia, China, these have been the highest. And if you can look at the millets, overall if you can see, India is the top producer. Overall, I mean like considering the bajra, sorghum, pearl millets, buckwheat, etc., India is going to be the highest, which is around 17.68%. See, recently in the budget, if you could see, government has come up with a very important term which is called as Sri Anna. And also IIMR, Indian Institute of Medical Research, has been given a very important acting as a nodal agency for the promotion of this millets. Here in this budget, we have been given highest importance to the millets, like the first one is jowar, bajra and the ragi. I mean like the order could not be the same, but every three important commodities have been given the highest importance. Next, if we could look at, I mean like the production which we could see in the last previous estimates. If you can see, look at the bajra's production of 60%, next comes the jowar, third comes the ragi. So, you can always remember the order, like it is no doubt bajra occupies the first, jowar occupies the next, and third one it is the ragi. And the state wise production, I have already given you this detail. The first among them is Rajasthan, around 26 to 27%. And next comes this Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, etc. In the southern, remember it is Karnataka which is the leader. And country wise, it is again India, okay, which is the highest, the leader producer in this millets. And the first three, among them Bajra, Jowar and Ragi should be in the order. And 2023, you know, it has been declared as the International Year of the Millets. And why? Because its wide advantages of minerals, vitamins, the fiber content, etc. And I have given you a data like why millets when compared to wheat, why millets when compared to rice. So, you just look at this data, the content of iron, the content of zinc, okay, the content of fiber, etc., which is quite high. Next, if we take the bajra, the levels of iron and zinc and protein levels comparable to the wheat is quite higher. So, and it is very important for us to consume millets when we consider the health parameters also. And as I have told you in the starting of this session, like these are the drought resistant crops and short duration, I mean like 70 to 100 days against the days which are required for the harvesting of rice and the wheat. Water content, irrigational issues, everything they can sustain and could actually give good result to the farmers, okay, good yield to the farmers when compared to their production, and it can also satisfy to the income of the farmers. And Indian Institute of Research, I mean the Agriculture Research Institution, has also like earlier I have told you like the Bajra, which is a hybrid Bajra I have shown you in the slides of MSP etc. That actually gives a good average yield content when compared to the others. And its maturity is again less than 100 days we can take it, and greater than 100 days is for rice and the wheat. Now, there are many programs which have been run by the central government and the state governments. Few state governments have started breakfast programs, few state governments in collaboration with the central government have started midday meal programs etc. Are we providing millets? 100% we cannot say yes, but from here on government has targeted to provide millets which are very good in the health parameters that needs to be provided in the young age. So here we can see kodo millets, very important, okay, so are the school and Anganwadi centers where we have started providing. So center has very important like Poshan Shakti Nirman is one, midday meal you can say, Saksham Anganwadi or Poshan Abhiyan 2.0, where the government has targeted to promote the millets in the school days, the schools etc., the government run schools etc. And if you take the exports, which is very important, during 2021-22, it has all-time high that 62.95 million mark for the first time in the history of millet exports. And if you can see, like in 2022 also, export of millets and millet related products from the country has again consistently increased, that has gone to 608 crores etc. Now, if you can see the chart here, what is that quantity in crores we have exported? That is the first highest, production is also highest, okay, and the export is also very much higher, which is around 246 crores, which is the per millet, that is Bajra. That's why I asked you to find it out this in order, okay, Bajra, Jawar and other cereals, then comes the Ragi. And export oriented, it is most importantly, you should know, United Arab, next Saudi Arabia, Nepal, these are in the order. So, you should remember one important thing. Why do we have to promote millets? Going back to again tradition, as it is the first domesticated crop during the Indus Valley civilization etc. Two important questions I will ask you. First important question is, who is the millet man of India? And second important is kodo millets, which is a state which is very heavily in production of the kodo millets. Is it uniform in all the states, or is it again Rajasthan occupying the first state? Okay, keep watching the next videos.